The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Kreeth of the Valorian Empire slammed 3 of his appendages against the crystalline podium. His bioluminescent skin flickered with irritation as he addressed the assembled delegates from 47 star systems. Enough with these human fairy tales. Kreeth's translator chip rendered his chittering into universal standard. They are extinct. They have been extinct for 3,000 cycles. We must focus on real threats, not ghost stories told to frighten hatchlings. Across the circular chamber, Representative Silith of the Nomari Collective coiled her serpentine body tighter. Her scales shimmered with an unsettling pattern that her species used to express unease. With respect, Ambassador, the derelict stations we've discovered in Sector 7 bear their markings. The warnings are still operational. Old technology, Kreeth dismissed with a wave. Relics from a civilization that destroyed itself before achieving true space colonization. The Council voted centuries ago. Humanity is classified as a pre-contact failure, extinct through their own violence and stupidity. What the Council didn't know was that a small human vessel, the Wanderer's Hope, sat cloaked just outside their station, listening to every word. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her jaw clenched as she heard her entire species dismissed as a cautionary tale. Beside her, Chief Engineer Marcus Webb shook his head slowly. 3,000 years in cryosleep, Marcus muttered, and we wake up to find out we're considered mythical. That's a new one. Sarah had been among the last to evacuate Earth when the cascade began. The runaway climate collapse that had rendered their homeworld temporarily uninhabitable. The plan had been simple. Put humanity's best and brightest into suspended animation on colony ships, terraform Earth from orbit using automated systems, and return in a few centuries once the planet healed. But something had gone wrong. The automated systems had failed. The colony ships had drifted, their beacons silent, their crews frozen in dreamless sleep for millennia longer than planned. The Wanderer's Hope was the first to wake, pulled from its drift by a rogue asteroid's gravity well. "Captain," Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka called from the communications station. "Should we maintain radio silence?" Sarah watched the council chamber through their long-range sensors. The delegates were arguing now, some species advocating for exploration of human ruins, others wanting them declared off-limits as hazardous archaeological sites. "They think we're dead," Sarah said quietly. "They think we killed ourselves." "Technically," Marcus pointed out, "we almost did. Almost doesn't count." Sarah straightened her uniform, a gesture that felt absurd after 3,000 years yet somehow necessary. They're making decisions about human space, human technology, human legacy, without us. "So what do?" Yuki asked. 17 crew members versus a galactic civilization? We can't exactly walk in there and say, "Surprise, we're back." Sarah smiled, but there was steel in her expression. "Why not? That's exactly what we're going to do." Ambassador, Kreeth was in the middle of proposing a motion to strip humanity of its territorial claims, when every holographic display in the council chamber suddenly flickered. The image of a human woman appeared, dark-skinned, composed, wearing a strange blue uniform with unfamiliar insignia. "Honorable delegates of the Galactic Council," the woman said, her voice calm and clear. "My name is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth Colonial Fleet vessel Wanderer's Hope. I apologize for interrupting your proceedings, but I couldn't help but notice you're having a discussion about my species." Chaos erupted. Delegates leaped to their feet or equivalent appendages. Security protocols activated. Kreeth's skin flashed through a dozen colors, settling on a shade that indicated extreme shock. "Impossible," he sputtered. "This is a hoax. Some elaborate. I assure you, Ambassador, I am quite real." Sarah's image gestured, and the displays shifted to show the Wanderer's Hope decloaking just outside the station. "As is my ship. We've been listening to your debate with great interest." Silith was the first to regain composure. "Captain Chen, if you are truly human, then explain your absence. Where has your species been for 3 millennia? "Sleeping," Sarah replied simply. "We left Earth to save ourselves, intending to return in a few centuries. Our systems failed. We drifted. We woke up today to discover that the galaxy moved on without us and decided we were extinct." She paused, letting that sink in. "But here's what you should understand about humanity, honored delegates. We don't give up. When our world was dying, we didn't fight each other for the remains. We worked together to save what we could. When our systems failed and we were lost in the dark, we survived. And now we find that in our absence, the galaxy has told stories about us. Sarah leaned forward, her expression intense. You called us violent. You called us stupid. You called us a cautionary tale. And maybe we were all those things once. But we learned. We grew, we survived. And now we're back. The chamber remained silent. So here's what happens next, Sarah continued. You have two choices. You can welcome humanity back to the galactic community, and we can show you what we've learned from our mistakes. Or you can continue treating us as a myth, as a story to frighten your children with. But understand this, myths don't negotiate. Myths don't compromise. And myths certainly don't go away just because you stop believing in them. Ambassador Kreeth found his voice, though it trembled slightly. You speak boldly for someone commanding a single ship. One ship, Sarah agreed. For now. But there are 47 other colony vessels out there, Ambassador. All waiting to be awakened. All carrying the best humanity had to offer. And we've had 3,000 years of drift time to think about who we want to be when we wake up. She smiled, a warm, genuine expression that somehow carried an edge. We called ourselves a second chance. What will you call us? The council chamber erupted in discussion once more, but this time nobody was calling humanity a myth. Outside the station, the Wanderer's Hope held position, its running lights blazing against the stars like a declaration. We are here. We endure, we return, and across the galaxy, in the silent dark between stars, 47 more ships drifted on, their frozen cargo of humanity waiting for the signal to wake. The myth had spoken, and the galaxy would never forget it again.